Now, not helping enough, Senate passes yet another bill. Labor union not happy.
Next on Real Estate News You Can Use.
You do that well.
Welcome to Real Estate News You Can Use. What's up,
Ben,
Keith?
dude, how you doing? How you
doing
been?
good.
Long time no see.
I'm doing good. Long time.
Hey, we had a great event down in Connecticut.
Yes, Connecticut.
And we learned all about short sales. And
Well, we actually kind of knew a lot.
you're right. We did know a lot, but there were some things you always learn a little nugget when you go somewhere.
That's right.
And,
Continuing education.
education, it's very important.
No, that's what it's all about. And thank Than Merrill for the short sale class. He's actually a really big investor.
Thank you, Than.
Really big investor in Connecticut, and definitely give him a shout out.
Kudos go to Than.
And if this is the first time being on the podcast, I want to welcome you. We are a video and audio podcast about anything real estate. Whatever news concerning real estate there is, we talk about it.
Yes, we do.
We pick 3 articles and we just discuss, give our own real take and commentary, and go from there.
Yes, we do.
So
Let's get it on.
We got a few good articles today.
Yeah, we do.
As we always do. Try to pick out the best ones that are available and the most relevant.
And it seems to be that we always find some commonality. For instance, Hope Now, we've talked about them quite a bit.
Right.
They're an organization that we, in fact, started to talk about, and then the Bush administration caught on to them, and they work hand in hand now.
Exactly. But this article from CNNMoney.com is entitled "Hope Now's Numbers Don't Add Up to Much Help," and it's pretty alarming because the number that strikes me the most is that Hope Now, since its inception, has helped more than 1 million people. You know that?
I do know that. I've read that.
1,178,000.
And it's still not enough.
But of those 1,178,000, only 848,000 of those were repayment plans.
Right. And that's a huge thing. The difference between a repayment plan and a loan modification. That's what you're going to ask me.
Ted,
All
bring
right.
it.
Let me explain briefly. If you're in trouble and you're heading into a problem paying the bank, you want to ask for a loan modification, not a repayment plan. Basically, a repayment plan takes your, let's say you owe $300,000, or you've got a $300,000 loan out there, and that $300,000 loan you don't pay for a couple of months, and it becomes $310,000, and then it becomes $315,000. While a repayment plan will take that $315,000 and then any additional new closing costs to set up a new loan could end up being a new loan that you get at maybe a lower rate, but it's for $350,000, Ruben, instead of $300,000.
Right. Well, they pretty much do not forgive any fees or anything. That's
Right, they don't
piled up
forgive
on top.
anything, so it's very possible that a $300,000 loan becomes $350,000.
Well, also with the repayment plan, they may. I mean, I don't know if I read wrong, but the difference is they do not change the interest rate. They just give you more time to pay.
Right. They extend it out. They might change the 30-year to a 40-year too to help you do that area.
But with the loan modification, it's more of a savings.
Right. The loan modification will say, okay, what's the current value of the house now? And if you owe $300,000, you may have a new loan at $275,000 and a lower interest rate. So go for the loan modification, not the repayment plan.
Right, and that's the big difference. It says 848,000 of the 1,178 were indeed repayment plans.
Right.
Because but having a repayment plan doesn't necessarily get you out of the woods.
That's
so
right.
To speak.
That's right. But they are getting better with that, and they are trying to, and the numbers are actually getting better where they're doing more loan modifications this year than they did in 2007. So things are turning around a little bit, but according to this article, not fast enough.
Check out the full article at renewsyoucanuse.com.
We're just filled with real estate news.
Just filled with it. Next article, it comes from MSNBC.com. Senate passes a bill to ease the housing crisis.
Another bill. Yet another bill. They keep on doing something.
Yet another bill. I wish I get some more bills.
Yeah, like $100 bills, right?
Yeah.
That
$1
would
million
be nice.
bill.
Yeah.
This particular plan combines large tax breaks for home builders and a $7,000 tax credit for people who buy foreclosed properties.
Woohoo!
Nice. as well as $4 billion in grants for communities to buy and fix up abandoned homes. Now, Keith, you had mentioned earlier the thing that sticks out in there is the $7,000 tax break. Why don't you educate people
Okay,
and tell
well-
people what the difference between a tax break is and a tax credit?
Okay, tax break is, let's say you do buy a house and you have a payment to make. That's a tax break. You might be in the 30% tax bracket. And let's say you pay over the year $25,000 in a payment, and $20,000 of that is interest on the mortgage loan. Then you take that $20,000, and if you're in the 30% tax bracket, 30% of that is written off for taxes. When you get a tax credit, Ruben, after you do your taxes, and let's say after you do your taxes, you owe $7,000 in taxes. That $7,000 tax credit that the Senate has passed will directly offset what you owe, so you pay no taxes whatsoever. Huge
difference.
benefit. Huge benefit. And the problem right now is that it's been passed in the Senate, but it has not been passed by the House, and the House is not very happy with this tax credit because it helps new buyers and it does not help current homeowners. So they're trying to find out, how do we help current homeowners?
Yeah, and they also say that it would fairly reward purchases that would have happened anyway while possibly devaluing other homes. Well, I mean, really, it is a buyer's market, and the
Yeah.
values are going to be devalued regardless of the tax break.
The home prices are coming down no matter what. So I think it's a huge benefit. So please call your congressman and tell them to pass this bill as it stands if you want to buy a house and get a foreclosure house and get a tax credit. Huge benefit.
Huge benefit. If you want the full article, go on RE News. You can use
Giddy up!
.com. And like you said, we find a knack of kind of like, picking the right articles that relate to each other.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Well, part of this bill that the Senate is trying to pass is a tax break for home builders. Okay.
Yes.
Our next article is from Inman News, and it says labor group fumes over home builder bailout.
They're ticked off, man.
Yes. The Labor's International Union of North America, a union mostly of commercial construction workers, claims.
Oh, I thought they were pregnant women having a baby going into labor. This is people who are actually working? Oh, I was reading the wrong article, dude. Not.
Get your mind right. So basically, what's the gist of this article is that with this possible new bill that's going to bail out home builders, it really does nothing for the workers.
Right.
So the workers, Keith.
Yeah, the workers basically haven't been working.
They're complaining about how how these changes and these bailouts are going to help the company, but obviously not help the laborers.
Right.
Namely, pensions being affected, jobs being lost.
Right.
Great fact that you actually pointed out to me in this article
Go ahead, read it.
was that in 1970, an estimated 50% or more of all construction workers were union members, and 80% of every dollar spent in construction was spent on union projects. Today, union laborers in the construction industry represents about 15% of the total workforce.
Yeah, big change in the way that the workforce is now. So, the
ridiculous.
labor unions, they're crying and they're having a tough time, and I feel bad for them. Then that's the way it goes. Real estate's difficult too. Real estate agents are having a tough time, but I'm not like complaining to my real estate, where I hang my hat with the real estate company. It's the way it goes. Get out of get a new job if you can.
I know. I mean, over that 30-year period, it's like 80% to 15%.
It is kind of funny though that 50% of the
they're still in the union. I don't know. Maybe I would have seen.
I think that, labor unions
The change.
they're great, but they are changing. Obviously, as you can see, there's a dynamic shift going on there.
Yes, dynamic. If you want the full article, go to RE News. You can use
.com.
.com. Another day of news taken up. If go to our website, see our updated website. We're trying to make it fastest and easy to use
Fast,
as
clean,
possible.
swift, get in, get out, get the news.
We are on audio, so check us out on iTunes.
I look much better on audio. I do say so myself.
I agree. I'm Ruben. This is Keith.
Somebody call the fire department. I just got burned.
Make it a great day.